All right, let's get to some voicemails. I'll get through as many of these as I can. Our voicemail line is 219-2-DAVID-P. Here is one on the Supreme Court. Let's take a listen.
Hey, David. My name is Tara. I'm from Mendocino County in California. I've been watching your show maybe a month or two, and I also watched the Young Turks, Tom Hartman, and Amy Goodman. And I have to say, I was screaming at my TV last night when you had Cenk on, and you were discussing all the many ways that, much as we don't like Obama and many of the things he's done, how Romney would be worse. And Cenk was saying, not to mention this, not to mention that. And I am screaming at the TV, the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court. And finally, kind of as an afterthought, Cenk said, not to mention the Supreme Court.
Okay, so that is true. We've been talking, it wasn't a big part of that interview, Tara, you're absolutely right about that. However, we have talked about it extensively. We had an interview with Adam Winkler exclusively to talk about what would the different Supreme Court likely outcomes be depending on who is elected. So I think it's a huge issue, maybe one of the biggest in terms of the two candidates, and we have covered it.
We did get into that, yes.
Just not in that interview. Okay, let's get on to another voicemail. Here's one from the Eggman about the hurricane.
How much do you want to bet that the cleanup for Hurricane Sandy is going to be 1,000,000 times quicker than the cleanup for Hurricane Katrina? I'm sure you've already addressed this, that when a bunch of rich, white, Jewish people or East Coast people get destroyed, they get cleaned up a lot quicker than some poor, black, Southern, Catholic Christians, whatever they are down there, voodoo lovers, whatever. Shalom, guys. Have a good day. Bye.
All right, so Eggman making a point that we still have to remember what we have to discuss. What was the racial component? There's a number of different conspiracy theories surrounding the race of people affected by Hurricane Katrina. I don't jump into any conspiracy theories, but I will say that depending on what parts of the country are affected and the socioeconomic status of people, there are differences in how different things are dealt with. I would go that far.
Yeah, also now we have a more competent FEMA director and a more competent president, so that helps. So
we can't underestimate that. Absolutely, Louis. Very, very good point. Here is a voicemail regarding the potential slowdown of cancer cures. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, David, this is Juan from Northridge, California. I am calling regarding the segment that you had on the cure for cancer. And I think that the issue is even much more profound than that. You alluded to the fact that you don't frequent fast food restaurants and stuff like that. And I think the day before you had mentioned about this individual who went to die at this Greek island. And I think that when we look at those two factors combined, we realize that the cure for cancer is much more than a cure. It's just a lifestyle and a mind.
Very, very good point. We know that a lot of cancers are environmental, behavioral as well. We can't ignore the idea that lifestyle and diet play a huge role, no question about it. But that being said, that's a separate issue from actual cures per se. So,
I believe diet is one of probably the biggest factor when it comes to cancer.
Huge factor. Great voicemail. Keep them coming. 219-2-DAVID-P. 2 more shows before the 2012 presidential election. We'll talk to you on Monday.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.